Welcome everybody to another episode of the Quick Count. And boy, did that intro music get me mad hype. I know I learned from Fog on Thursday I can't curse in like the first 30 minutes, so I almost dropped an F-bomb, but that was hype. And I'm hyped because we have a rebrand. If you're watching right now, you see the ticker. The first thing on the slot is the rebrand. You can see the new graphics. We got the Quick Count. And then our weekly episodic podcast is going to be called the 10 Count. It matches very well with the Quick Count. It pairs so well, and it's the perfect direction of where we want to go with Body Slam. And I'm excited. Justin, how are you feeling about the rebrand?
Dude, so between you and I, and for everyone watching here, I'm going to give a quick history. This is the Quick Count, so it's going to be quick. We started off as Gang and Gorilla, me, you, and Court. It wasn't getting off the ground. We took a little hiatus. We came back, and then we went over to ATP across the pond, started catching a little steam there, and then we jumped over to PWN, where we currently still are with Body Slam, but we turned into the Real Marks of Long Island, and there was a lot of feedback on the name. Yeah, sure, we're all from Long Island. Yeah, we like to have fun. We mark out, but you needed a new name. So here we are. We brainstormed. Shout out to Jace. Shout out to Fog. Obviously, yourself and me. We came up with it, the 10 Count. Shout out to Steve Fall. I know he has 10 Count Media. He said, absolutely go for it. So here we are. We have the 10 Count and the Quick Count. It goes perfectly together. The 10 Count is going to be our longer episodes on Thursday night. We have the Quick Count, which we're going to try to do Sundays, little quick 30-minute episodes, 30-minute hitters, and the logos. The logos are what got me hype. I absolutely am obsessed with the logos. And yeah, dude, there's just so much momentum going our way right now that I love every second of it. Let's talk some wrestling.
Let's go. We got the first count of the night, which is going to be SmackDown in general. I think this has been one of my favorite SmackDowns of this year so far, especially with how, I'm not going to say Raw has been lackluster, but I feel like Raw has been strong, but the last few weeks I haven't been so zoned in with it recently. But this SmackDown, man, especially starting off with Heyman and LA Knight, like their chemistry together was phenomenal. And LA Knight, he's growing on me a lot. I used to be a bit of a LA Knight hater, but they're going to catapult this man into the main event. I mean, he's going head to head with Seth Rollins shortly, soon. You know, he's making Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed's life a living hell, kicking them out of the King of the Ring tournament. You know, he's getting his pound of flesh on them. He's not afraid, and it's exciting. And I don't know how you feel, but I think he might cost Seth Rollins a cash-in.
LA Knight, when we were talking about the Money in the Bank predictions, and we said that if there's someone that needs it just because he's lost the Money in the Bank match twice now, and if anyone's ready, it's him. And we were a little worried if he loses, what happens to LA Knight's momentum? Well, him still having these issues with Seth Rollins' new faction, he's still hot as ever. And I can't wait. Who knows if he does, he does have this thing. I think him and Braun are obviously going to have a showdown eventually, but you're right. If he's just going to be the thorn in their sides for weeks to come, and he continuously just ends up screwing Seth and the gang, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited for LA Knight. He does deserve it. He's a hard worker. He's got that charisma. The lines he comes up with sometimes just get me going, get me cackling in my living room. And I do hope this turns out to be a great push for him, because if he can get a win over Seth Rollins in this faction, or even just get one over on them, I think it could do tremendous for him. With that being said, I do hope he does get a world title shot in the near future, because I think he deserves it. The people love him. Everyone's screaming, yeah. And I'm finally getting aboard the LA Knight train. But it's funny because if they do go that route with the cash-in, speaking about the Miss Money in the Bank, who's also on SmackDown, Naomi, we saw a failed cash-in. Naomi wanted to cash in very badly on a Tiffany Stratton, who was abused by Nia Jax, but Nia Jax wants that title from Tiffany. But we might have more of a percentage loss for the men's, and the women might go perfect. You know, how I want if you've listened to the podcast before, I want Jade Cargill going all the way, beating Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam to then instantly get cashed in on Naomi. That's my goal. That's my plan. That's what I foresee. It's what I want. But it just shows that like the men's Money in the Bank briefcase hasn't been the greatest in success lately.
No, it hasn't. And for Seth Rollins, I do think he's going to have a successful cash in. Just the way that the group is, there's no way that they can let him have that unsuccessful cash in. So I believe Seth gets the men's Money in the Bank track record back in the right direction. But as for Naomi is just continuously just doing what she has to do on social media. So she has the failed cash in attempt because of Nia Jax. And then she puts out a video of her backstage opening up some Wheatley vodka and pouring it into a flask and adding Cody Rhodes saying, thanks, Cody. Because if I didn't have this, I would have gone ape shit because Nia Jax ruined that for me. So I see Naomi having that effect. I think she's going to have a few failed cash-ins up until, you said it, SummerSlam. So hopefully the weeks leading up, she'll just continuously try to go out there and cash in, and they'll just get squashed. Whether it's Nia Jax still or just someone else decides to pop in, I'm interested to see where it goes. But I do think we're going to have two successful cash-ins. I know a lot of people are saying Naomi's going to be unsuccessful, but the way that her momentum's building, I see two successful cash-ins this year with Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I could see it too. And speaking on her social media reach, like I pop because I'm a Sabrina Carpenter stan, and she did with Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson was like getting a photo shoot, and he got down, and they did the reenacting of the Man-Child cover, or her new album cover that's coming out with Naomi just like grabbing his hair. Yeah. And he like popped up. I was dying. It was so funny. How do you feel about Mr. Ron Killings right now on SmackDown?
It's weird. I don't know how I feel. Like at some points he's a man possessed, but then he's still coming out to his same music. He's still under the R-Truth name, which they said it was going to be Ron Killings. So now is he like in a schizophrenic state where sometimes he's Ron Killings and then other times he's R-Truth? Like I don't know. Like I just feel like it hasn't been a good start, to be true. Like the promo on Monday Night Raw where he cut his dreads, amazing. But ever since then, it's just like he's just attacking people and he's just ruining matches. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like they're trying to do this like split personality thing, which I kind of think is going back to like the R-Truth gimmick, where it's kind of like, oh, he's crazy. It's little Jimmy again, but this time it's like he has his two own personalities. I don't like that they're going to go that route. I wanted him to just be like, you know, TNA, old school TNA style, like just rough around the edges, ready to kick some butt. And I thought we were going to get that with that promo, but I think they're just, I feel like they can't let go of the crazy R-Truth. And it's a kind of a bummer. It really is.
And we'll get into the whole pipe bomb, but I love, like, I didn't realize it until I watched afterwards, but when CM Punk dropped that pipe bomb, the match in the ring was John Cena and R-Truth. So the fact that all came back years later, full circle, we'll get into it. That whole last segment was, my God, it was Scorsese-esque. It was unbelievable. But yeah, I also wanted to mention, now I don't know if this is true, but Chelsea Green and Charlotte obviously had their match, correct? Now, when I believe Charlotte and Chelsea Green, or Charlotte was Chelsea's first match on the main roster, and I think she got hurt or something along those lines. But I think they were wearing the same exact gear that they wore years ago. Yes, because there was a photo of like, I'm at Chelsea. If you're watching this, like, please let me know if you and Charlotte both wore the same gear that you guys wore this past Friday that you did the first time you guys met in the ring, because I'm pretty sure I saw a photo of them the first time on a SmackDown ring, and I'm almost positive it was like the same gear. It was crazy. So I mean, if they plan that to do it that way, unbelievable, and props to both of them as well.
I love callbacks like that. And yeah, as much as I haven't been on the Charlotte Flair train lately, I think they want to hurt the poor woman. Like, I feel like the splashes while she's doing the figure eight, especially with a bad knee, is not the greatest idea. And when she took that bump, I I mean, either she was selling very well or she actually kind of felt a little hurt, but it was scary. I don't want her to get hurt by any means. Like, I don't wish any kind of injury on any of these professionals. Like, it just when I saw it, I'm like, oh, please don't like tear that knee again. It's scary, man. I feel like they gotta like maybe move away from her getting any splashes or stuff, or getting like turnbuckle splashed while she's in the figure eight.
And then obviously after that match, we had Alexa Bliss come down to the ring. There's still that thing going on with Charlotte and Alexa. Now Alexa is out of the Queen of the Ring tournament. She had lost to Asuka. Where is this going? What do you think is happening between Charlotte and Alexa? Is this leading to the Wyatt Six somehow?
I don't think so.
Yeah, right?
I don't think Alexa's going to be a part of the Wyatt Six. I don't think it's going to happen. I think whatever they're trying to do, I think they want Alexa and Charlotte to boost either the tag division, since, especially because Liv's hurt. And if they're a good counterpart for, let's say, Raquel and Roxanne, maybe, who knows? I think they probably want more eyes on that division to give it more credibility, but I don't really know. It's up in the air for me. I wish I could say I was confident in anything that I think the direction they're going with that. It's just like this weird, like when John Cena would be, the WWE champion, and he would like win the tag titles with, like, I think, was it Batista or Shawn Michaels when they were trying to face each other. It feels that kind of way, but they don't have gold. They're not going to be competing for gold. And, how do you showcase two of the best that they have in the women's division, that aren't in the main event picture for the women's division?
Yeah, I don't know how you do that, to be truthfully honest with you, but I'm still stuck on the Wyatt Six. Like, I'm just expecting at this point Alexa to be with them, and it's just like week after week after week after week, we're not getting it. And clearly the Wyatt Six are in the tag division on SmackDown. They're on the same show. They haven't yet to interact. I do believe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was like a quick, how the Wyatt Six, like, they do those quick promos, or they they glitch the screen. I think that happened during an Alexa segment, but ever since then, it's just been Alexa just trying to talk to Charlotte and just going about her way as a face. So eventually I know it's going to happen, but it's like getting to the point where I think people waiting for it are now getting like, all right, like, what are we doing here? Are we doing this now, or are we doing this months down the road at like WrestleMania?
Yeah, I feel like that's how I feel with the Wyatt Six as well, with like the tag division. I don't to me, it doesn't make sense for that, in my opinion. I don't think it makes sense for them to be tag champions. You have a stunner tag team division on SmackDown. Like, if they were on Raw, like, sure, take those tag titles, give those titles some more credibility. I mean, the New Day are doing great, but they need more liveliness in that division. And to me, I always wanted more Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to get back together. To me, that's the union I want to see. That's why I think it's weird they're taking this detour. If they do want to go the Wyatt Six route with Alexa, weird detour. I don't get it. Maybe it'll pay off in a few weeks.
And you're right. You're talking about bolstering the tag division, but there you go. You don't need to put Charlotte and Alexa together. Just put Alexa and Nikki, like you said. Like, they have the history. They have been tag champs together. So why not just have their creepy personas now tag up? It kind of just doesn't make sense to me, but who knows? WWE is all about the long game, so you just gotta wait at this point. You just gotta wait.
And one quick thing before we go to the next topic is the fact that we are getting Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, United States Championship. What did you think about the promo on Friday?
It was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love that Jacob wears I think it's a Raiders jersey. He wears it backwards. He's got Fatu 42. He's so good, man. And they're feeding off each other. I thought it when they started, like when the numbers game started happening on Jacob, I thought they could have brought Hikuleu out. I thought that could have been a perfect opportunity. I know he's been wrestling now the past 2 weeks before SmackDown.
Yep.
I think it's on main event. So I thought there was a perfect opportunity, especially when Jimmy made the save and it was 2-on-2. I thought that there was a perfect opportunity to be, all right, well, we still have the numbers game on you. I guess they're still waiting for Hikuleu. I don't know what the plan is there, but I can't wait for next week. Jacob's like, give me him now. Like, you want this title? Like, let's go. Next week's going to be a great match. Maybe that's when it happens and Hikuleu comes out because it's now a title match. But what do you think about Jimmy coming to make the save for Jacob?
I didn't expect it.
I didn't either.
And I feel for Jimmy because, like, look at the spotlight on Jay, and he's kind of like dwindling in the mid card a little bit right now. He's had some pretty great matches, but like there's no real story for him. So maybe getting him back in the fold of this bloodline drama will help him a bit. And with this being said, I think we spoke on Thursday about it with possibly Jay and Jimmy getting back together. If they're going this route, I don't think we see that. If Jimmy, kind of becomes like the face of the face of the face side of the face bloodline. Sorry, I'm just saying a lot of faces. Maybe that's how they go because, Jimmy's the veteran who can, have Jacob's back. And then I know I don't want to see another bloodline civil war, but maybe we see these two entities move away from each other, but do their own things on SmackDown, or with a possible draft, they go and, split the two little factions up and they do their separate things.
Well, even with Jay, like we discussed, I think last episode, we said we think we know what's next for Jay, and that is reuniting with Jimmy and bringing the Usos back. But now if Jimmy is helping Jacob, it's like, and they're on different shows now, really. I mean, we have the match Monday night. We'll get into it with Cody and Jay, but after that, now we really don't know what's up in the air for Jey Uso.
Yeah. All right, let's get into what I'm going to call the near fall topic of the night, the 2 count. It's going to be the Pipe Bomb 2.0. I'll hear your thoughts first, Justin.
Unbelievable. You want my thoughts? My thought is that it was incredible. Just all the callbacks, like I mentioned earlier. I didn't realize that years and years ago when CM Punk was sitting on that stage, that it was just a John Cena and R-Truth match that just happened in the ring. So the fact that it happened again, John Cena, R-Truth, they brought the table out. Everything was picture perfect. I know that it came out that those two, CM Punk and John Cena, worked like all week on that segment and on what Cena was going to say. Dude, it was incredible. And I know a lot of people were kind of putting fan theories to the names and why John Cena said certain names, Claudio Castagnoli, Nick Nemeth, and Matt Cardona.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, here we go.
People were saying that it was based on like the N, M, and C, which in the other, for Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, and Colt Cabana. I don't think that was it. But in my head, I was thinking of people that John Cena had cucked previously. Like he cucked Matt Cardona with, I think, Eve Torres.
Yep.
I believe he cucked Dolph Ziggler at the time out of AJ Lee or Nikki Bella.
Nikki.
Yeah, it was Nikki, but I don't think he cucked Claudio. So my theory there got kind of shut down, but it was incredible. And you knew Cardona was definitely going to eat that shit up on, I can curse now. We're at the 19-minute mark. Eat that shit up at, on Twitter. And he instantly put out Hi John Cena and started putting photos of him versus Cena from back in the day. It was awesome. I can't wait. And I think Cena even said, like, if you liked what you saw on Friday, wait until Night of Champions, wait until what you see coming up, because what they have in store for the fans apparently is incredible. So I am fully invested.
Yeah, it was a great segment. The nostalgia factor, the word for word play. I might get a little bit of hate and heat for this, but a lot of people are like, now, like, oh, no, it's John Cena's run is great now. Like, that was the determining factor. Like, he shouldn't lose the title now, or he shouldn't lose it at SummerSlam. I don't agree. Right? That Friday night, that ending was perfect. I think, in my opinion, the first feud John Cena should have had post WrestleMania was with CM Punk, because this really would have set the tone. I think having a tag match and Money in the Bank no titles on the line, kind of pulled the steam out of it a little bit, out of his run. The stuff with Randy was pretty good, but I think there could have been a little more drama and personality behind it, just like we're seeing with Punk and Cena. But to me, it still doesn't salvage his whole retirement tour yet, because to me, the not showing up in the beginning half of it really soured it for me. The initial feuds, Randy and Cena was a classic, but again, like I wish I had a little bit more promo from that. Money in the Bank kind of killed some steam, but this is definitely giving it some life. But not enough for me to be like, all right, Cena should keep the title past SummerSlam.
Well, we're both in agreement that he's not going to keep the title past SummerSlam. It really has, in a sense, been like a nostalgia tour.
Yeah.
Which I'm truthfully loving it. I know that you're giving, a little here and there, like you're not set and sold on it, but I'm enjoying it. I mean,
yeah.
sure is everything rushed. Like we've mentioned, I think I've mentioned it, that we only have so many appearances. Like the countdown is real. Like there's no more John Cena after that countdown. So they're trying to just give everything that they're supposed to give to the fans, but it's sped up. Like we like stories, we like the storytelling, but what they're trying to do now is we have to remember the stories that they told us to enjoy what they're giving us now. So the fact, like with Orton and Cena, I don't think we liked it as much, because they really only had like Orton sneak up and RKO him once, and they had like 2 segments where I think Orton called Cena like a deadbeat or something like that, or he called Orton a deadbeat, whatever it was. But here with Punk and the callback to the pipe bomb, we actually had a callback to one of the most famous segments of all time. So the fact that it's not just an in-ring promo between the two, which they've already done and they're already killing it, we already knew that was going to happen.
The promo battles are amazing.
The fact that we actually had a pipe bomb, that brought me back, and I was like, okay, I know these two are going to absolutely crush it at Night of Champions. And who knows, we might get another match between them down the road. There's still a few months left of this John Cena retirement tour. We'll see what happens.
I chuckled at the Mr. TKO thing. That was funny.
That was funny, yeah.
Dude, they crafted something beautiful that whole time. And I love how Punk went out there at the SummerSlam presser and it was like, the only thing that John Cena said that was true was that he's jealous of me. Like, my boy Punk knows he ain't Mr. Well, he is kind of Mr. TKO, but don't tell him I said that. But he's enjoying himself, man. Like, I've said it on the podcast too, like, I don't get why people are hating on him for, wanting to do this match in Saudi Night of Champions. They played it properly. John Cena was like, in order for you to come after me, you got to follow me, to Saudi Arabia. Like, it makes sense. And the man wants to make money and he's enjoying his time. Like, he's happy. You can tell he's genuinely happy in what he's doing right now. And I can't wait to see that match unfold. If John Cena takes the title, goes over the barricade and sends CM Punk a kiss, I'll shit myself.
That was literally what I was going to say, dude. Like, that is going to be the ending. And that's going to be the other callback. He beats Punk and he just looks over at him and he blows a kiss and he goes out into the Saudi crowd and just walks away. Unbelievable. I can't wait for it. It's going to be incredible. Yeah, they have to do it, right? At this point, they have to do that.
I think they have to. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
Be the perfect callback. This is like, to me, this is what I've wanted the entire retirement tour, is what they're encapsulating right now. And I partially give the credit to my boy CM Punk. Look what he did with MJF. Look what he did with Drew McIntyre. Look what he did with Seth Rollins. That man brings the best out of people because they freaking hate him. And they want to, show out. But Punk, amazing on the mic. He's still good in the ring. Not what he used to be, but he's no spring chicken. He's still doing better than most people his age in the ring. I think AJ Styles the top, but CM Punk's still there. But yeah, I'm excited for Punk. I'm excited for Cena with this match. The nostalgia, I hope, is real. I hope they put everything into this match. It seems like they are, and it's going to be an amazing ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into the last one.
Yeah, we got the last count of the night. we are going to discuss more of the king and queen of the ring. As we spoke earlier, we had Asuka knock off Alexa Bliss, which I think Fogg brought up on Thursday. They want a vet going head to head with Jade Cargill, and it looks like that's the route they're going. I think either Roxanne or Jade could fit in this match against Asuka, who is a freaking star. And I personally want Jade. I want to see my vision come true. But what are you thinking, Justin?
Yeah, no, a week ago, you sold me on your vision, and I am now here on out full freight train with your vision on this tournament. Obviously, like Fox said, once a veteran in there, both veterans in Alexa Bliss and Asuka, but Fox said like he believes Asuka is one of the, she's the GOAT, especially coming over from Japan and with the language barrier. They've done her wrong for so many years. So Asuka, Jade Cargill, and that's it. I see Jade winning. Jade goes over, and we're running right into your theory. So, I mean, whatever you say on this little topic here, I am fully in agreement with. Although I would love to see Roxanne win just because of how talented she is and the rocket that they've already strapped to her, especially with her NXT days. I also could see now with Liv being hurt, them trying to now keep the Judgment Day together and now work Roxanne and Raquel together to where if Roxanne did win, it would be with help of Raquel. But to your point, I still think Jade wins this whole tournament.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Roxanne winning. I think, to be honest, looking at this four, any one of them I would have been happy with.
Yeah,
I'm really excited with the trajectories. I much would rather it be a Roxanne or a Jade Cargill, because to me, like, especially with King and Queen of the Ring, like, this is where you can make, stars.
Yep.
And it's not like the Royal Rumble where you're just tossing people over the top rope. This is like, look at this tournament. We talked about on Thursday. Like, it's the best of the best that this division has to offer. And whoever is going to win this deserves the right to be called champion. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to see Jade win on Monday. But again, if Roxanne wins, whatever, I don't care. It's cool. But yes, we want my vision to come true. But now let's get into the men's. Randy Orton knocks off Sami Zayn, and I think that prophecy of Sami Zayn maybe turning that heel might happen. They had an awesome promo before the match. We had Jay and Cody out there. Jay gassing up the crowd, gassing up Cody, telling Cody, like, this isn't personal, this is business. I'm coming to get my pound of flesh. He wants his shot back at Gunther. He wants his world title back. Cody didn't get any words in. People think he's maybe turning heel. I don't think that's true, but I guess we'll see. But also having Sami and Orton give their 2 cents, and just Orton's presence, man, like, he is on another level. I am so okay with that man winning 15 and beating John Cena for the championship. Court, I'm sorry, but I am so for it. Randy is just, he's a gem, and I want him to be the 18-time world champion in my heart.
Yeah, I love that Randy went like person to person. And then I love at the end, he said, I know eventually Sami Zayn is going to be a world champion. And the place went crazy because Sami Zayn will win that world title. It's not going to happen yet, but he will win it. And I'm telling you what, when they do finally give him that push, I hope it's kind of WrestleMania, because at this point, if he's not winning it at a SummerSlam, Sami Zayn deserves to win his first world title at a major pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see Survivor Series at the point. Give it to him at WrestleMania. But
I agree.
On the heel turn from Sami, I don't know. Hopefully we get the match with Karrion first. I would love to see that at SummerSlam. I'm hoping for the 2-night. They're building up to Karrion and Sami Zayn. Karrion then hopefully beats Sami, or there's like a moment. I mean, I'm getting way too far ahead of this, but you know me and my love for Karrion Kross. There's a point in the match where the ref is knocked out. Sami is holding like a chair or something, and Karrion's like, do it, Sami, do it. You know you have to do it. And he does it, pins him, and then that's how Karrion loses, by turning Sami heel. That is what I want. I don't want Sami to win clean. but that's down the line. We don't even know if it's going to happen at SummerSlam yet.
Yeah, and I would love, honestly, if that would be the case, I would love Karrion to come up on top for that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, obvious, yeah. But
they deserve a pay-per-view match. Karrion deserves a pay-per-view match. Doesn't matter if it's like second or third match. Would be awesome for like for an opener. But I want Karrion to be able to like bet on himself, especially with Sammy in the ring. Like Sammy can go. We've seen him do insane things in the ring. He's one of the best performers that WWE has, and I think they could tear the roof off that place. So I would love WWE to give Karrion a shot, especially against Sammy in a PLE setting. I know I'm diverting a little away from the King of the Ring tournament, but like you said, we love Karrion. We're a pro Karrion, pro Chelsea Green podcast over here. And anytime those names come up, we're just going to start gabbing.
Yeah. But like we said, we've talked about this tournament. Randy Orton in the finals now. Either way, Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes, I think it would be a great match with Orton. But at this point, it looks like we're going to get Cody and Orton, and then we're going to get Cody winning that winning the King of the Ring tournament now, because that is his way to John Cena at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like there's no other way, which gets me excited because the match between Cody and Randy, if it happens, that is kind of like a passing of the guard moment, which would lead up to like another passing of the guard of, John Cena giving the title back to Cody and giving it as Cody being the new face of WWE. I'm excited for that. I hope that's how it goes. I can't wait for the moment that Cody and Randy share in the middle of that ring together after the match. Maybe Randy Orton turns heel, hits a little RKO on Cody for beating him, but I don't see that happening. Randy said he loves him like a brother. They are brothers. They've been through the trenches for over a decade. And I don't know, man. That match to me, eyes are going to be glued on the television.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be one of the best matches of the year because people have been anticipating a Cody Randy match. And I said it last year. I wanted a Cody Randy rivalry where Randy was heel, trading the title back with Cody to get up to where Cena was at 16, 17. Because then to me, like, you have a title race before Cena retires, and that would have been cool. But I just can't wait for the Cody Randy match because their last match was, Court was here, she'd freaking know off the top of her head. But it was obviously like maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to see this new revamped version of Cody go against this version of Randy Orton.
No, it's going to be incredible. And we're at the 33-minute mark. We are on a new platform here, so I don't have the bell. But at this point, I would say ring the bell. Ding, 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 because this podcast is over. As you can see down below, if you're watching, if you're listening, please subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon for exclusive breaking news, interviews, podcasts, and more. Our guys, Viper, Corey, Cody Woods, they have just been putting out the inside scoops. They've been crushing it. We're having a great time over there. We just had, I believe we just had Cassidy with his interview with Akira drop early, which was an incredible interview. Go listen to that. And then obviously, if you could, please give us a follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, please, every subscription helps us grow. If you could subscribe, rate, review on all Apple podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever you're listening to it. Thank you so much. This is the quick count. We have the 10 count coming back on Thursday. So until then, we will see you next time. Adios.